Ooh, what a sound. TeeItUp Radio Network, ladies and gentlemen, back to it. Got a cool Pro Shop segment here. Eyeputter, the best way to lower your handicap, period. Oh, you got to listen to this one then, Pop.
Yeah, besides the putter, Rob, who's coming on, I wish I lived next door to him.
Yeah, 13-year PGA Pro, spokesperson, creator. Got to bring on Rob Roy. How you doing?
Great. How are you today?
We are doing just fine and very interested to learn more about Eyeputter. I guess maybe you could talk a little bit about it and how it all came about.
Okay, it probably came about from examining my own past career as a golfer, and I think that I'm probably pretty consistent with where other golfers were. When I first started playing the game, I could hit the ball pretty well, actually drove the ball in the upper range of the guys that I was playing with, but my putting suffered, and realized pretty quick that it didn't matter if you could hit a par 5 and 2, if it was 3 or 4 putts to get in, you weren't going to score very well. And I was making the same common mistake that a lot of players make, and that's lack of confidence. And so when the putter head would go through, I'd peek a little bit. You know, we want to see if it's going in the hole, and it'd open up the face, and I was spinning the ball off and missing quite a bit of putts to the right. And that actually, even as I improved my game and was moving into becoming a better golfer, playing college golf and aspiring to have a career in the world of golf, my putting was still lacking, and I realized that if I'm going to be successful, I better figure out this putting aspect. And so I kind of patterned my own putting after Ben Crenshaw, who at the time was the reputation of the best putter on the tour, and I don't think many people would argue with that. And I was fortunate enough to get a chance to meet him, spend some time with him, and he puts a little bit differently than the average guy does, but I just remembered a lot of the things that he told me as far as putting, and it completely turned my game around to the point where putting was the best part of my game. And even if I would hit a erratic shot, if I could get it on the green, just somewhere on the green where I could stroke a putt, I felt like I could make it. And successful putting comes from confidence, and confidence comes from consistency. So what can we do to help the average golfer become more consistent? And that's really kind of where the idea of Eyeputter began, is can we create something simple that's easy to use that corrects some of the most common mistakes that golfers make, why they miss putts, and help them to start improving their score. And, we've got guys that are out there spending, $400, $500 for a new driver so they can hit the ball 10 yards further. Scoring comes on the green. Even in a publication like the Wall Street Journal, they were talking about how more of the game comes from putting, and more of the successful golfers were citing improving their putting was the key to their success.
Yeah.
And, a lower handicap player, he hits it inside 10 feet. He wants to make that for a birdie, right? That's what's going to separate him. The guys on the tour, that's how they're going to make some money, is by holing those putts. Well, the average golfer, it's more like a 5-foot putt. Right? Those are what they usually have left to try to save par or make a bogey, to avoid a free putt, or possibly even a dreaded, 4-putt. And we wanted to do something to help the average golfer gain some confidence, because that's the key, and that's what the Eyeputter is all about. What can he do to fix a few of the keys to help gain confidence, so that when they're standing over a putt, they can actually feel like they're going to make them? Because if you stand over it and you're doubting it, it's not going in. You're not going to make it. You've got to stand over it and know it's going in. So the Eyeputter is a very simple device. It clips on any putter. The main things that I noticed with the average putter, and again, equating this to myself as well, is when you're having doubts, when you're missing putts, what's going on. So we start fiddling with everything, right? So the first thing is the lie of the putter. Is the putter square on the ground? Is it a little toe heavy, heel heavy? Is it square on the ground? So we just put a simple level on the top of the Eyeputter, and that allows you to know every time that putter is sitting perfectly level. And then you don't have to fool around with where your hands are, raising your hands, lowering your hands. A lot of instructors are out there that are constantly tweaking those things. Just let your arms hang down naturally, put the putter down, and when that level is in the middle, you know that putter blade is sitting perfectly flat.
Love it.
And square on the ground. And if the heel's up, you're going to hook the putt to the left. If the toe's down, it's likely going to catch the ground, move the heel over, and you're going to miss the putt off to the right. So it is important that putter is sitting flat. And then the next thing, and I'm sure anyone that's listening to this, anyone that's played golf has probably heard this tip at one point in the past, especially with putting. Guys do it off the tee as well, but especially with putting. Stand behind the ball, pick out a spot between the ball and the hole that you want that ball to roll over. So the exciting thing about the Eyeputter is it doesn't matter whether you're putting a straight putt or if it's breaking right or left, you're on the side of a hill. You're always taught that read the break and then pick out that spot about 3 feet in front of the ball. And when you stand over the ball and you're looking down at your putter, just focus on stroking the ball to where it's going to roll over that spot. Don't worry about where the hole is, because if you miss your spot, you're probably offline anyway.
Right.
So that's where the mirror part of the Eyeputter comes in, because I don't care who you are. When you stand behind it, you can get a great perspective of the break, where that spot is. But then when you're standing upright over it, it's a different perspective. And now all of a sudden you can look at that spot, but you're not sure if you're going to be able to stroke the ball exactly to that spot. So the practice aid with the mirror is that when you're standing over it, you can look down and still draw that line in your eyes. And that's where our tagline of see the line every time. You put the putter down and you can see in the mirror exactly where your spot is. So now you're not worried about your perception now being off because you're not spotting behind the ball, you're standing over top of it now, and it starts to build that confidence.
Rob Roy, PGA golf professional and the guru of the Eyeputter, a new training aid for golfers. This has been extremely wonderful.
And I haven't really seen anything like this at all when it comes to the industry of golf. But real quickly before we have to go to break here, I do want to know, can this go on any putter?
Any putter.
Any putter. That's important to know.
Any putter. And, one of the main things that we're excited about right now is, they've done away with the anchoring stroke. They haven't done away with long putters, but the anchoring stroke. So they want golfers to have to go back to a free-flowing stroke.
Yeah,
so there's a myriad of golfers now that are going to have to learn how to stroke the putt again.
Oh, yeah.
And I think this is a great opportunity for the Eyeputter. This is a tool, along with the instructional video, that can help those guys.
Now, it's available, of course, at eyeputter.com, correct?
Correct.
Love it. And I love the way it looks. I love the way, interesting. I'm looking forward to trying this out, too. I mean, look, at the end of the day, everyone has issues when it comes to putting. Even myself, my inconsistency is obviously making those shorter putts. Everyone can get it on the green. It's a matter of making sure that amazing approach that you put, the ball maybe 5 to 10 feet. You got to make that putt. You got to give yourself an opportunity to shoot lower. And so, that's where I definitely see my downfall. And I know a lot of golfers around the country can agree. So
you hit it on the head. What's the old cliche? You drive for show and putt for dough. And
yeah.
Guys will go out there and they'll beat balls for hours to gain a little extra yardage, and you look at the putting green and nobody's there. But
exactly.
Where does the scoring come from? It comes from the green.
Yeah,
Let's get rid of those long putters.
And look, you guys have priced this out so right. It's only $49.95, ladies and gentlemen, and this is something you can really practice with as much as you possibly can at your club, at the Muni, wherever you get to practice your putting. Definitely look into this and read more about it on the website Eyeputter.com. That's spelled EYE putter.com. That's EYE putter.com. Appreciate it, Rob.
My pleasure. Thanks, guys. I sure appreciate you having me.
Shine.